I got into Magic about a year ago during everyone's favorite cowboy set, Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Mostly because I wasn't having a whole lot of fun with Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment, and my friends that I play other games with were already playing Magic. So I decided to bite the bullet and jump into Magic's biggest format of Commander. And I bought two different Commander decks from OTJ. I bought the Desert Bloom and the Quick Draw Precons, each for their own reason that I'll probably go into in a different video. But the backup commander for the Quick Draw Precon, Eris Roar of the Storm, really caught my eye as a commander that I kind of wanted to build around. This eventually became what I like to call my Dragonless Dragon deck, where the whole point is to make dragon tokens with Eris, use those to fill up the board, and beat my opponents with some light dragon synergy cards that aren't dragons themselves. In order to get Eris to do what we want them to do, we need a few things. Now, as you can see, Eris is a 10 mana Izzet commander, but luckily they have an ability to reduce their cost based on how many instants and sorceries with different mana values we have in the graveyard. Then, when we get Eris finally onto the field, that's when, if we cast our second spell, they create a dragon token that has flying and prowess and is a 4/4 beater. So here's the game plan. We have a lot of different mana value instants and sorceries that one way or another gets put into the graveyard. One of the ways we can do this is we have cards like Faithless Looting and Frantic Search that can dump some high mana spells that are stuck in our hand. Or we have cards like Lorien Revealed and Boon of the Wishgiver that have cycling that we can cycle away. Or we have cards like Magma Opus and Creative Outburst that have alternate abilities to discard them for treasures or something like that. And of course we can't forget about wheels like Windfall and Imposing Grandeur, which is an excellent card in this deck since Eris is 10 CMC and will draw 10 cards. The second part of the plan can be a little harder to consistently do, but thanks to the most recent set as of time of recording, Tarkir Dragonstorm, we have a couple of new tools that can help. Both roiling and breaching Dragonstorm may be enchantments, so they don't count for the reduction for Eris, but they get returned to the hand whenever a dragon enters. That includes our dragon tokens. And such, that gives us repeatable spells to help us cast to a turn quite easily. In fact, Breaching Dragonstorm gets us both cast triggers at once, since it casts the card you quasi-cascade into, and then will immediately go back into hand, so you can do it again next turn. And yes, it's 5 mana, but you can get an up to 8 mana spell free. And who doesn't love 2-for-1s? Now, 4/4 flying dragons with prowess are great, but it takes a few of them to defeat just one opponent, and of course we need to defeat 3 of them. So we need a few enhancer cards to help grease the wheels a little bit and do as much damage as we can with them. One of the best spells in the deck is Dragon Tempest. It gives our dragons haste, and the more dragons we make, the more damage it deals out. Speaking of making dragons, one of my favorite cards in the deck is Corporeal Projection. I probably didn't say that right. But it can be overloaded to give all of our creatures Myriad. And if you have, say, 3 dragons and Dragon Tempest out on the board as well, you have just 48 damage just from damage triggers alone from Dragon Tempest. And that doesn't even count all the dragons that will be swung at your opponent's face. Another great finisher / enhancer is Surge to Victory. Since you are dumping huge spells anyways, we can choose those for Surge's effect and get multiple casts of cards like Magma Opus while pumping up our board with 8 additional damage. Actually 9, since our dragons have prowess. Now, is this deck perfect? Of course not. And I specifically tried to tailor this deck for the bracket 2, low bracket 3 kind of power level. We have a high mana value commander, and we can kind of really be blown out by board wipes if we have no protection. I also say since we're running a lot of high mana value spells, you have to mulligan a few more times than you may want to get a good hand that isn't clogged up early and has enough lands. Really prioritize cards like Faithless Looting and Thrill of Possibility. But regardless, if you want to check out the deck yourself or have any suggestions, I have a link to my Archidect page for the deck in the description. And if you have any ideas, you can leave it in the comment below. I have plans for more videos in the future, but I just wanted to kind of talk about this deck because I've been thinking about it a lot with all the dragon stuff from Tarkir and all that. So, in the future, I've said I've wanted to make more videos before, but you can look back on my YouTube channel and see that it's a mess of different hyperfixations I've had in past lives. So, no promises, but if you want to stick around, subscribe, ring the bell, I guess. Thank you. And remember, don't talk to strangers.